Okay, the primary features on the touch screen, as you'll notice, is we have a user interface on the screen which gives you certain information such as the machine status and some operation instructions that are relevant to the operation that you're currently doing. We've got some feedback for like door width and door thickness, and these are values that you can actually enter from the touch screen to define the door that you're going to cut. And then the push buttons down below, it's very simplistic. Everything's been simplified. We have an emergency stop for starting and stopping the machine. We have a cycle start, which is a multi-function button. And we have a joystick, which is used in the jog mode to operate the X and Y motion. And there'll be a touch button for the Z. So we're going to look through some of the setup features of the Lite cutter. In this big picture of a door that says door setup, if you touch that, it takes you to a different page, and it tells you you're in setup mode and says select cycle options and touch the setup buttons to configure. So for instance, let's say that we just want to do a lock bore. I would turn that feature on. I would press the button to do the setup, and all of these features will give us, not that, the ability to change the values of backset from the top of the door, the diameter of the bore. It talks about the faceplate and the features that are relevant to that. So all of that is set up ahead of time, and then we can just simply turn it on and turn it off. Now, if I go back to the screen, you'll notice that a lock bore indicator is illuminated on the screen, and it gives you a few data points to act as feedback so that the operator can easily see whether he's got the right parameters dialed in. These are not editable from this screen. They're only editable through the setup menu. So the same holds true for the deadbolt, and you have the similar setup where you adjust how far apart the lock bore is from the deadbolt, the diameter of the bore, what the backset is, and the same holds true for the faceplate mortise and bore. When you go back, now we have the deadbolt shown and its features represented there. So let's say right now we have no light being cut, and let's say we want to cut a light. So let's go to a rectangular light, and here again we've got parameters that define the profile of that cutout, and now we have a picture of that rectangular cutout with its little particulars. Now, when it comes to the cutouts, you can only cut one light at a time. You can't cut multiple lights. So it's like a radio button. They're mutually exclusive. So if we go to a curve top, again, we have the parameters that show the height of the curve, the width, and this will cut an elliptical cut or circular if the width and the height if this is half of the width, then it'll be a full circle. But otherwise it's an elliptical cut to blend in to the rectangular portion. And when you go back, then it shows that. So all of that holds true for each style of cut. Here's a peephole that we can define how far down it goes. So in our first example, we're going to cut a steel door, and we'll cut a divided light. So in this case, we have the overall width. We have what we're calling a gutter width in between the two lights, overall light height, and the top of the distance top of the door, top of the cut.